Hey, listen, if you can't hear God's voice, it's not because you've done something wrong. It's simply because no one ever thought to teach you how. It's such a pity that we tell each other that if you can't hear God's voice, it's because you've done something wrong. We'd be much better off if we spent our time teaching each other how to hear God's voice, because all it does is take practice. Have you noticed in the Bible that the Bible heroes who heard God's voice, none of them had fantastic lives? They just didn't. They were often up to terrible things like murder when they heard God's voice. For instance, Paul, when he first heard God's voice, he was running around persecuting and murdering Christians. So, look, if you'd like to hear God's voice, I'm going to break the mold and teach you how. You don't have to be a good person. You just need to know how. So here's what you do. Now, I'm going to teach you how to have a written conversation with God. You don't have to do it in writing. Don't get all upset about that if you don't like the idea of writing. You can do it out loud, speaking your question to God and speaking out his answer back to yourself. You can do it in dance. You can do it in music and song. But thousands and thousands and thousands of people who we've been teaching find it much easier to do it in writing, to at least start that way. It's a good way to start. So here's what you do. You write your question to God. God, what are you saying about how we should use these holidays? What my family and I should do these holidays? And then you write the beginning of God's answer, even though you know he hasn't said this, but you're just writing a sentence for him to speak into. So you might write, Marianne, what I'm saying about how your family can use your holidays is, and then you begin to write, expecting God to give you the words as you write. You don't wait for them to all arrive and then write it. You just start writing and God will speak into that. Now, once you've done that, once you've got to the point where you've written your answer, God's answer, you are absolutely going to think there's no way that was God. That's just my own thoughts. I'm making that up. There's no way God would talk to me in that much detail. Well, this is a conversation. So just write that. Write that as your next question to God, and then start writing, expecting to God to give you the answer. And of course, once again, you're going to still think you made it up. There's just no way God would say that to me. It's my own thoughts. I don't have the faith to believe. Write that down and then start writing, expecting God to speak as you write. Sooner or later, you're going to start thinking, goodness, that might actually be God. Well, don't stop there. Test that too. God, I'm starting to wonder whether this actually is God, but could it possibly be you? Test the spirits. You owe that to yourself and to God to ask and keep on asking, which, by the way, it says in Matthew 7:7. So, guys, just give this a go. People who try it, it's just completely changing their relationship with God. Well, of course it does. You can't have a relationship with anybody, including God, without regular conversation.